This morning on Daybreak, working from home has become more popular since the pandemic, and the trend continues, especially in Colorado. Plus, 10 years ago, parts of Colorado faced a devastating storm leading to destructive flooding and 9 deaths. We'll have the details.
And a cold front is going to be passing over today, and we're still going to be expecting rain both in the valleys and into the mountains. I'll have more of these details coming up.
On your side, working for you. You're watching Daybreak.
Good morning. It's 5 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. I'm Melissa Wright.
And I am Chris Guevara. Hello. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us. Chris, yes. I'm starting to get confused with the weather. Yeah, I am expecting rain. I have not seen a single raindrop this week.
Well, this is called atmospheric dynamics. This is where weather can change. So this is why, even within an hour, especially being in a mountain state, that is one thing that really can set the weather off, and anything can happen. So I think a lot of Coloradans know that they've heard about the statement, like, you know, you just give it about an hour or 30 minutes, and then everything can start changing just within that short period of time. And you really kind of can get this everywhere. Maybe not everywhere that doesn't have mountains, but weather does change, and they can change very frequently, and just basically just something that can happen just overnight and into the next 30 minutes. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Here's a look on radar and satellite. We're seeing this next round of band of some precipitation, mostly staying around into Moab, slowly starting to creep here into the western slope. Again, the valleys are still seeing a lot more to increase in cloud cover, and already starting to see a little batch of that precipitation already focusing its attention around Montrose. Now, this is going to slowly start becoming a little bit more widespread throughout the day. Now, temperatures are staying a little bit warmer, so that cold front is also moving a little bit slower than anticipated, so that's why our temperatures are staying around into the 60s here across for most of our valleys. Now, throughout our day, we are going to, again, see plenty of cloud cover, little peaks of sun just here and there, but temperatures will continue to keep falling. We're going to stay a little bit cooler as we get our way towards the evening hours. I'll have a little bit more look on what today is going to present, as well as the rest of the week, coming up in that full forecast later in the show.
Thanks, Chris. Working from home has become more popular since the pandemic, and the trend just continues. Colorado cities have some of the highest shares of remote workers in the nation.
So this is my work setup.
Employees spanning across different industries are logging in 5 days a week, but they're doing it from the comfort of their home.
I love it.
That's Allison Valle, an employee for a PR agency based in Texas.
I just decided to relocate, and I really wanted to come to Colorado, so it worked out.
Valle is part of the 27% of U.S. employees who work remotely.
I've found a group of people here in Grand Junction that I've connected with that also work remotely, that have companies based all over.
So what's attracting people to work from home? Valle credits the flexibility, peace, and personalized workspace.
I actually find that I work better remotely. I'm able to focus more without having the chitter chatter that comes with working in an office, and it really helps me stay motivated.
Valle says traditional office workspaces could be a thing of the past.
I think for some industries, yes. We've already seen a bunch of businesses and companies move towards hybrid and remote business model post-COVID, so I do believe that we are moving towards that.
Many are joining Valle by saying bye to the 5-day office week and hello to their home office space.
I can't see myself going back to an office. I think working remotely has definitely improved my quality of work, so I would love to stay remote.
Among over 400 cities nationwide, 4 of Colorado's cities rank among the cities with the highest concentration of remote workers. Those cities include Boulder, Highlands Ranch, Broomfield, and Denver. The Bureau of Land Management plans to conduct prescribed burns in the coming weeks. The prescribed burns will take place on Carpenter Ridge and West Dolores Rim. Prescribed burns in the area will help restore forests and species diversity. The Carpenter Ridge project is 2 miles outside of Paradox Valley. Firefighters plan to burn 200 acres. The West Dolores Rim project is about 7 miles east of Dove Creek. Firefighters in this project will burn about 1,200 acres. 10 years ago, parts of Colorado faced a devastating storm. Several inches of rain fell over the northern foothills, which led to destructive flooding. 9 people died as a result. Flash flooding was in the forecast before those floods in 2013. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen tells us how technology is making a difference.
Every hour you give people advance notice, fatalities go down, impacts usually go down because people are making better decisions, being prepared.
NCAR hydrologist Dave Gotcha says a big breakthrough in flash flood forecasting came a few years after the flood, when NOAA's computer modeling system got a major upgrade in 2016. He says hydrology models are now able to latch on to radar data in the beginning of the storm and predict flash floods before they happen, sometimes even an hour or more in advance.
I think you're at a place now where you can start to do things like pre-evacuation notice, letting people know that they're at risk, and they need to be prepared to take action in a much more detailed and locally specific way than a county-wide watch would give them.
Gotchis also says the 24-hour rainfall forecast is improving. If water managers knew their reservoirs were going to top in 24 hours, it might be enough time to release water and make room for what's to come. Or they could hold water back if the bulk of the rain was expected below the reservoir.
It's a fine line to walk, but we're getting there with all of these observational and modeling capabilities. And I think we are ready to put them to use in Colorado, and we'll see that, the next time a big event like that happens.
A judge has denied former President Donald Trump's request to move Colorado's case aimed at removing him from the state's 2024 ballot to federal court. Chief U.S. District Judge Philip A. Brimmer sent the lawsuit back to the state court in Denver County, where it was filed last week by a group of 6 voters. Brimmer who is nominated by former President George W. Bush, said that Trump had not properly served Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold or obtained her consent for removal as required by the law. A lawyer for Trump and an attorney representing the voters did not immediately respond to the request for comments Tuesday night. It is now 5:07 on your Wednesday morning. Ahead on Daybreak, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has ordered an inquiry into impeaching President Biden. But first, 5 former police officers that were involved in the beating death of Tyree Nichols now face federal charges.